What we're going to show you is how to start making your cover of Pajanu by Eric Pritz. Now you're going to need logic for this, which you'll find in your doc. If you click on it, it should load automatically, but if it doesn't, what you need to do is click File and New. And what will happen is you'll have a template that looks like this. Okay, now what you'll need to do is make sure you click Software Instrument each time, then click Create. And now your keyboard should be able to work. On the left hand side you've got all your keyboard instruments and any other instruments that you would like. Now you may wish to keep that piano the same as that, but I would suggest you try a little bit more. We'll think about a little bit of the sound that you want to create. Now Eric Pritz uses a piano sound for his first one, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Piano. I'm going to click Bosendorf for Grand, and now its sound should have changed. And that's quite low now, so I'm going to try to play a bit higher. Okay, now I'm ready to record, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to make sure I've got my count in, make sure these two buttons are pressed. Ideally you want to set this to 130, but I would set it to a tempo which you're comfortable with. That's the ideal tempo, which you need to be at 130 beats per minute. Once you've done that, you press R on your computer keyboard, wait 4 beats and then record. Make sure you record the motif 4 times. So there's the first layer of our piece. Now we need to loop that for now. We'll come back to this in a later lesson, so you need to make sure that's recorded in. Now the next layer is of course the beat. So what we need to do is click the plus button, Software Instruments, Create. Then go into, not drum kit, we need to go into Electronic Drum Kit, Drum Machine. Let's go for Big Room. Now what I want is just a nice simple beat, so I'm just going to have this sound here. Make sure the playhead is where you want it to start. So the playhead is at my second loop. Make sure that the channel is highlighted and then press R. Now if you've recorded it in time with the beat, you should see that the samples are exactly the same length. And you'll see that mine are exactly the same, 4 bars long, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we need to loop that. We'll work on structure in a later lesson. Now we also need bass line. So we need to hit the plus button, Software Instrument, Create. Find a nice bass instrument to go for. So I'm going to go into synthesizers, I'm going to go into bass, and now I'm going to click on, let's go for heavy synth bass, which gives me a nice low, deep sound. Not that one, maybe not. Sounds better that octave, so let's give that one a go. Let's move the playhead to where you want it to go. Press R, 2, 3, 4. Once again, it's all in the same length. So what I'm going to do is just loop that, so it's like ready to go. Now we need to start working on the sound. So what I'm going to think about is I'm going to add another sound to the harmony riff. So I'm going to hit Software Instrument, Create again. I'm going to go into synthesizers once again. I'm going to Soundscape, and I'm going to pick this one, which is one of my favourite sounds. So it makes kind of a warbling sound, nice spooky sound. Okay, so all I've done is perform the harmony, and it just blends the sound together. Same thing, I'm going to record it in. Here we go. If we loop that again, that will continue all the way through. There we go. And I'm going to add another sound to the bass lines, another instrument on there. So I'm going to go back into the electronic sounds. So I'm going to go into synthesizers. I'm going to go into bass instruments. And I'm going to go into heavy sub bass, which will give me a very low, deep sound. Probably too low there. let's keep on with that sound. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go, and then loop that one final time. There we go, and we're going to add one more sound. We're going to go into, we'll have another synthesizer sound. Let's go for a lead sound, and let's go for something down here. Might need to do a bit of experimenting. No, that kind of sound isn't appropriate for a dance track. You might want to go into something else. Let's go into there. Let's go into classic sound. That's the kind of sound I want, but I don't want that wobbling sound on the end of it. Okay, so here we go. Let's go for that sound. Yeah, that's quite a nice one, so we'll add that on there. Okay, so as you can see, we started to layer our sounds and our samples on top, which we'll need to work on in a later lesson. So then if we can end up at that point at the end of today, then your teacher will be very happy. Thank you very much.